podcasts, merch, and blogs. This is the Rebel Yell podcast, supported by MK Window Cleaning and Price Jones Electrical.
Well, we're back. We're back for the Rebel Yell podcast, episode 6 of the season, live from Woodside Road. Thank you for the people that turned up tonight. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. Merry Christmas, I should say.
No.
Bit early?
Way too early.
Really?
Yep.
What, so I can't wear this? Doesn't fit on my head.
That works really well on a podcast.
Yeah, well, we have to save the next one for a video one, won't we? Guys, thank you very much for coming.
I thought you were doing a Greg Wallace there.
Oh, God. Too soon, too soon. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Thank you to MK Window Cleaning and Price Jones Electrical for their continued sponsorship, and thank you to Pinnacle for our lovely teas. For those that listen to the podcast, we have a Dutch man, the one with the funny accent. That's a bit Greg Wallace, isn't it? Sort of taking a mick out of you like, no, we can't say that. What does it say? What's street waffling?
Stroopwaffling. Stroopwafel is a delicious biscuit from the Netherlands, and you call them caramel biscuits here. But yeah, they're called stroopwafel, and hence we stroopwaffling.
To be fair, we should have actually had some to hand out. Should have gone to Lidl.
Next time.
So tell everyone to turn up next time, and we'll give them some street waffles, courtesy of Jacko. Actually, Lee Smarty Pants, he's going to Holland, isn't he? He listens, he can bring some back with him. So anyway, guys, how are we doing? How's the month been?
All good. Lots of football. We've got plenty to talk about.
We have got plenty to talk about. I mean, first thing, the girls are sitting right here. We'll get to them in a minute. But FA Cup round 3, round of applause, everyone. JC sitting there clapping himself, like pat on the back, sort of thing like that. You know, he's doing that. But what an achievement! First time in the club's history?
Yeah,
amazing. Playing against Exeter City away on Saturday. Next Saturday.
Sunday.
We got the trophy on Saturday. But it's been a good month. We've had Comets, which was a 5-2 win in the FA Cup round 2, which got them to round 3 against Aylesford. Bristol Rovers loss and Keynsham loss. Do we not talk about that?
Tough games.
No, don't talk about that. No, we won't talk about that. And you got Maidenhead coming up this weekend. But it's a sort of mixed month. But what an achievement.
Maidenhead was yesterday, James.
You were here.
That's what we were preparing, wasn't it? 3-1 against Maidenhead.
This is going really well.
This is going really well. This is so prepared, street waffling. Guys, for what we've been to the games with the girls, it's been sort of the home game yesterday. We haven't been for a month, but it was a great performance yesterday, I think. You guys. Yeah.
No, it really was. No. You know, it's really good confidence going into the big game next week. You know, bounce after a win.
Jacko?
I only saw 15, 20 minutes, really. And I think the best bit for me was the number 6 for Maidenhead. The chats he gave us.
I don't know if you girls saw, but you should have had a corner. JC, you might have realised. And the referee, I mean, we won't talk about the referee because we know you slag referees off, and you know my opinions on the referee. It hit her head, and it went out for corner. And she even admitted to the referee they'd hit her ponytail. I don't know if you girls know that. And she said it to us. She goes, hit my ponytail. I don't know what she's doing. So even her, she was annoyed, wasn't she? But she had a good character on her. So JC, if you need anyone else, number 6, Maidenhead, good player, I think, yeah. Yeah, fantastic. Guys, on to the men's team. Busy month for the boys. Probably nice to have a bit of a break tonight, hasn't it? Because it's a 2-0 loss to Morecambe in the FA Cup, 2-1 win to Averley. Chesham lost 2-0. Chichester City in the Cup, 3-2 win. Eastbourne in the Sussex Cup, 5-0 win. Chelmsford 1-1 draw. Farnborough 0-1 loss. And Weston at the weekend 3-0 win. Aggie must be quite happy it's all over because that's a busy month, isn't it? Saturday, Tuesday.
Busy time of year coming up to Christmas as well. Plenty of football to be had.
But yeah, we'll talk about them more with respect to players. But girls, welcome to the podcast. Well, we don't need to introduce you, do we, Eleanor? Because you're our podcast
our regular
superstar,
contributor.
Yeah. And I think a round of applause for Eleanor. If you listen, you're very humble because you actually do a really good job. And we said it to you, and it's a really good addition. As does Hagee in the men's team. It's fantastic. But also welcome Izzy, first time ever to the podcast. How are we doing? You look really scared.
It's all good.
Really scared.
Just a little bit.
Don't buy it.
Why? Has Ellie told you, like, it's a nightmare to come on? And
It's the orange T-shirt to intimidate
just too clever. So, welcome to the Rebel Yell podcast, and welcome to Worthing, one of the summer signings. Firstly, I guess, why Worthing? Right, that's not the reaction I had. I thought I was going to get.
No, I knew a couple of the girls already, and obviously I've had JC as a coach a couple of years now, and I come down for 2 sessions, I think, and I thought, this is the club I want to come to. Yeah. I've never really felt like a new player ever since I've sort of joined. The girls are all lovely and welcoming, and Elle's all right to play with. So.
No, is she? Is that just she's sitting there? Is that right? Well, we have said, haven't we, guys? Like, just like the men's team, like you see with the women's team, like having a new coach, a completely new change, and John and Kelly leaving in the summer. You just see the sort of camaraderie you've got now, and it just seems even yesterday, like the win, sticking together. It's great to see. So have you really felt you've settled in quite nicely then?
Yeah, everyone's been really lovely. Like all the staff here have been really welcoming. Even got some new kit, so win's a win, really.
Yeah, there you go, you got it. So moving on, tell us about your football career. Like, where did you start off, and how did you get into football?
I started at a boys' team for about 3 years, and then I got signed by Millwall. I was there for 7 years.
I'm a Charlton fan, so sorry.
Oh, boo you.
Boo.
This has gone well.
This has gone well, isn't it? Nice to get yeah.
And then I went to Gillingham for a year, and then after that I went to Crystal Palace for 2 years.
Paul, where's Paul? There we go. There goes Eagles over there.
And then they got rid of their under-21, so then I had to go straight to women's football, where I went to Crawley Wasps and met JC. And then after there, I went back to London City under-21s, and I played in the PJ with training up with the first team as well. And I'm still there now alongside here. So. Oh,
fantastic. So are you from the sort of South London, Kent area? Is that where you've been growing up?
Bromley.
Yeah, Bromley. Oh, fair enough. I'm from South London. He's from East London, so we've all moved down south, haven't we? But how would you describe your style of play?
Long ball merchant, JC would probably say.
You're quite vocal at the back as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Doesn't show.
Quite a lot.
Leadership qualities, I'd call it.
On the pitch, I won't stop talking, but now I'm a bit nervous, so I probably will. But no, I'm just quite... just like to keep the ball, play football, put good through balls in, and that's it, really. I'm a defender, so I don't really score any goals.
Put your head on it, and that's probably the things in the box.
I normally deliver them.
Yeah.
I'm normally putting them in for other people.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's great to see, like, how it's nice to hear how you've settled in really well. What is your sort of career on this side of like football? Like, what do you do in your? Do I even want to know?
There's some giggling going on.
I like to call it a stay-at-home daughter.
I love that.
So I've never heard that job.
I shop in the day and I go for... I do a bit of coaching here and there, but predominantly stay-at-home daughter.
No, fair enough. Fair enough.
While you're at home, do you got any social media, TikTok or...?
Oh.
Right, we got told to ask about TikTok. JC planted the seed. Elle said she was going to tell me, and now you look really embarrassed. So there's a story here that we need to know.
Yeah, so we've basically thought we'd start doing TikTok a little bit more, like just to.
But the club or just your personal selves?
Well, club, women's team.
Okay.
Just like put ourselves out there a bit more, get a bit more fan engagement and stuff. And then we had our first question last Thursday at training, and it was, who wouldn't you want your son or daughter to date? And the most popular answer was Izzy herself.
Don't really know why. Still yet to understand. There was no reasoning behind it all. I think
so you feel quite scolded by that then, yeah?
Probably the most I felt unwelcome in the team.
JC, isn't this going to cause ruptions between the team? I thought it's meant to build team and like get people coming to watch the women's game, and now you're causing arguments with them.
I'm sure
and
he would
like
even say me as well.
Oh, it's all right. TikTok, yeah. So that's the TikTok. What is the TikTok if people want to follow it? Is it just Worthing FC Women?
I don't think it's a women. I think it's just on the men's account.
Oh, just on the men's TikTok account, yeah. Yeah, because we saw Aggie the other day for a clip on TikTok, didn't we? I don't know if you're allowed to repeat what you said. Well, I mean, the thing I need to use, if it is, it's this noise that I said I got for you.
Well prepared again.
Does that ring a bell? Yeah? Did you even know it's on social media? Yeah, there you go. So, well, welcome. What we always do, I'm not sure if Elle's that's already briefed you already. Always ask an interesting fact for anyone that's new on the podcast. So, Jack, you can get ready to think of one. You've got time to think, mate. So, time to think there. But, Izzy, interesting fact about yourself. Keep it clean.
We was brainstorming on the way, weren't we?
So, you ruined it?
Otherwise, I'd be here for ages thinking of one. I don't know which one to go for.
That must be a few then.
Fun fact. When I was younger and I played in the boys' team, because I was obviously the only girl, saying like pass to Izzy, it's quite obvious they're going to pass it to me. So they called me Dave. And people still call me Dave now.
Dave.
I'm on a night out and I'll hear someone shout, Dave, from across the room, and I know they're shouting at me.
So if we've ever randomly were in Bromley one time having drinks, we heard Dave, it might actually be you in the room.
It's probably me, yeah. And it's still stuck now, so...
I mean, I was about to wrap up, so I sort of said, like, so playing in a boys' team, what was that like? Because I know we've heard from like a lot of the women, it's been very hard to break into football, and obviously of the England success over the last few years, it's helped the women's game. What was it like playing in a boys' team? Was it quite hard?
I loved it. Like, my team were amazing. Like, they never, like, treated me as if I was a girl.
Just called you Dave?
Just called me Dave. But, like, playing against other boys, it was always like, oh, there's another girl on the team. And then I remember one time a manager come up to me at the end and he was like, to say to the boys at half-time, well, she got past you, she put you on the floor, she tackled you. It's not really fun. Like, it doesn't really matter that she's a girl, but I think it made me the player I was. I don't think I'd be the same player if I didn't play in the boys' team.
So help you build into the game and like
more resilient.
Yeah,
a bit more aggressive as well.
So we know if you ever have children in your life, Dave will probably be your son's name. Is that right? Or your daughter's name even, possibly.
Probably call her
middle
Dave,
name. Yeah, there we go. But well, welcome to the club. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thanks
Round of
for
applause
having
for
me.
Izzy, everyone.
Thank you.
So our roving reporter, did we work out what we were going to call it in the end? I can't remember. We said it, didn't we? What were we actually going to call this segment of the podcast?
I don't think we did. I think
because we said
we
inside the
kept
dressing
throwing
room
ideas
sounds a bit
around.
weird, and
Yeah, definitely weird.
Especially now.
Yeah. You can name it the same as my private story. My private story is called Keeping Up with the Keegans, because it's like my family and that's my last name.
Is there any TV
So it's
producers in the house that want to do a documentary?
Yeah,
Keeping Up with the Keegans. Yeah.
I
Really
think that'd be a
Keeping
watch.
Up with
I think
Keegan.
that'd be a watch knowing your mum and dad. I think that'd be a
Yeah, we
watch
met
as
her
well.
mum and dad yesterday,
Oh,
the
God.
newest members of the Worthing FC Supporters Association, who she's actually banned from being here tonight.
Yeah,
but I know
sorry.
Dawn will be listening to this now when it goes out. So hello, Dawn. Next time you have a personal invite from us to come down, forget what your daughter says, because she's going to come down. But I think firstly, guys, we say thank you for what you do for the podcast. If you haven't listened here in the room, she does the monthly update, which is a new feature this season. It's been absolutely
It's ultra
fantastic.
It's brilliant.
ultra professional. I even asked you yesterday if you were media trained, because I would have sworn you're media trained.
Alex Scott, watch out. That's it.
Yeah, they need a new match of the day presenter.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, you're gonna, football don't work
Never
out.
know,
Well, hopefully it
yeah.
does work out, but maybe
Yeah,
in a few years'
thanks.
time.
When the TikTok goes viral.
Yeah, when the TikTok goes viral, that's it. You just want one viral
Yeah.
clip. So we obviously spoke to you at the beginning. You'd been at the club a little bit before, obviously renewed in the summer. Sort of quite a distance into the season now. Finally playing some games at home. How are you feeling it's going?
Yeah, it's going good. We did have like a bit of a rough patch, I think. But I think after Sunday's performance, we're kind of getting back into the swing of things. Like the girls had a really good performance, probably the best football that's been played after, like I said, a rough patch. So yeah, I think getting back into the swing of things. We are like, I think 2 games behind most people in the league, so probably doesn't quite reflect like where we are at the minute, just because them points will add up when we get them. So, but yeah, we're doing all right.
Well, if you didn't see yesterday, the highlights are on YouTube, sponsored by yours truly, the Worthing FC Supporters Association. Well, not quite yet, but anyway,
It
that's
will be.
Jack will talk to you about that, Jack. Danny, is she still dining off her goal? Because that was a goal and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw it and we thought it was maybe a miss hit, but she meant it, didn't she? And
No,
that
yeah,
was
she definitely meant it. It was a bit messy before, but when that went in. But to be fair, she actually hasn't really said much about it.
Has she been
which
at
is
work
actually
today maybe and not realised it's out and she's
It's
now
quite
going to be
surprising
sharing
because I
it?
thought,
Yeah.
oh my God, as soon as she comes off, she's going to be saying about that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that
she hasn't said much.
I mean, we felt like, obviously, to bounce back after the sort of losses, the aways from home and, the frustrations of it, I think to come back with such a sort of decent win against a good side, because they're about the same place as us in the table, aren't they? So
Yeah.
you must have been really pleased how that went yesterday.
No, yeah, definitely. And I think they were quite a physical team, a bit pushy, shovey, should we say. But I think the girls played really well. Like I said, it's probably the best football they've played in quite a while, to be fair, because I just don't think, being honest, we've probably been at our best, like we was at the start of the season, but that literally felt like exactly how we started the season, so hopefully that can continue.
Is it because of the travelling, you reckon?
Maybe. I mean, our games are like 3 hours away every weekend.
Yeah,
so.
you've had
I think the boys know what it's like, don't you?
Yeah.
I think we know what it's like going down to the West Country. It's like mirroring what we say. Obviously, we asked Izzy, like, how are you feeling? Like the teams all getting together. Do you think it's finally all clicking into place? And sort of Sunday was testament to that.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I don't think, even though we had a bit of a rough patch, I don't think that ever was a reflection of like the team or anything going on. Like, everyone gets on so well, and like got our socials planned and stuff like that. So like they are a really good bunch of girls, and I don't think it was ever a reflection on something going on in the change room or anything like that. But yeah, we're definitely back into the groove of things.
So is that a Christmas party, the social? Is that what's happening?
We've got 2 now, actually. We've literally got 1 tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because obviously men have got a game, so we can't come to the pitch. But so we've got a random one tomorrow, and then we've got our Christmas.
Is it is it quite a sort of sociable just meal, or is it going to be a bit crazy and wild in a bar somewhere?
No, not crazy and wild. I've got a big game.
You've got a big game at the weekend. Maybe
yeah.
after you win that game on Saturday,
maybe.
yeah. But talk about the game. We found out yesterday that you are actually going down to stay the night before in Exeter.
Yeah.
You must be, I mean, not only getting to round 3 of the FA Cup, which is an amazing achievement in itself, but to play against Exeter, a team in leagues above.
Buzzing the experience,
getting into a hotel.
Staying over, the travel.
Yeah,
it is a big occasion, and it's going to be a big occasion.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a big occasion. I think hopefully that will like sort of feed into like our aggression and stuff when we go into the game, making a whole sort of weekend of it.
I mean, girls, would you say, like, personally, is it probably one of the biggest games in your career to come up, would you say?
Oh, God, maybe, yeah.
So I probably shouldn't say that because it's putting pressure on, isn't it? But, like,
no,
I mean, just from the excitement point of view as well.
Probably as well, because this is like, we've both played in like women's football, like probably since we was like a bit younger anyway, but probably in terms of going this far in a women's first team, then yeah, definitely it's probably one of the bigger games.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So is there any sort of preparation you've been doing differently for the game? I mean, I know obviously you can't train tomorrow, which will hopefully bring the team close together, but is there any sort of, how does the week look for you? I know you've got obviously jobs and stay-at-home mums, or whatever. not mums, sorry, daughters. Stay-at-home daughters. Christ, I'm starting rumours here myself with a TikTok account, aren't I? How does this week for you? Because you must have a sort of nervous, excited energy for it.
For me, it's pretty much the same. Like, I think staying calm is best for me, and then letting it out on the pitch maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing really changed for me. Just work. Haven't got time to do anything else.
Yeah. I think when you finish work on, well, it'd be Thursday, or you do it work in a half day Friday sort of thing.
No, work Friday.
Oh, then you've got to go down.
On the Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. So it's Saturday, isn't it? So I was confused. But well, we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be an exciting, and just on behalf of us, to the whole girls team, well done. We can't wait to see, and it's there for the taking. Cup upsets happen, they do, and I think the way you played on Saturday, you take that into Sunday. Sorry, when you played on Sunday, if you take that into this Sunday, it's going to be amazing. I think. Good luck and enjoy it. Just before we wrap up a little bit with you girls, we always ask weird questions, and I think because it's a Christmas special, if they let me call it a Christmas special.
Yeah.
Actually, is there not a Christmas tree in the club? Does the club not have a Christmas tree, Keith? Artificial palm tree from IKEA. Is that it? Yeah. Get some tinsel. Is it real? Wonder how long that will last in here. What is your favourite piece of Christmas food? Ask Elle that one because she's got the mic, and then I'll give you another one.
I was going to say I've got an answer for that one.
Oh, okay. You answer.
come on,
there you
then.
go.
Well, it's not. No one else would class it as like Christmas food, but every Christmas Eve we go to the pie and mash shop in South East.
Oh, now we're talking.
Don't talk,
now
Spencer.
we're talking.
Spencer, where are you from? Let me guess. Yeah.
So,
Two pie, 2 mash liquor.
No, not double single. But so yeah, for me, pie and mash. Although it's not Christmas Eve, but it's a Christmas tradition. So that's probably my.
So those
favourite.
nice Christmas dishes you have every year, something to look forward to. Yeah.
Pie and mash and liquor all the
Pie
way.
mash and liquor. There you
The
go.
tradition.
Wash down with any drink or anything like that? Do you?
Pepsi, because he's got it in the little dispenser machine. You've got to put your pennies in as
Okay.
well. That's how
Love
old
that.
it is.
Love that. Elle, I think for you, it's got to be, what's the weirdest Christmas present you've ever received or given? Keep it clean.
Oh no, because you just reminded me of one, but it's not clean.
Oh God, what have you done?
What have I done?
It's not clean, but
It's fine.
Tell us.
It's an unofficial podcast, isn't it, Keith?
Yeah.
So we can do what we want. So that's why we decided not to make it official.
Dawn, you can turn off now.
Dawn, switch off. Beep.
Dawn actually knows, so it's okay. We're close enough. We had Secret Santa when I was at Crawley. Do you remember what I got? Someone bought me like an edible thong. So it was like made up of sweets. So that is the weirdest one I got. They thought it was really funny, but like I don't think me and the girl were close enough for her to give
No, I don't think so. No, don't think
Yeah.
so. No. But just before we let you go and watch the rest of the pod, as you are now an official part of Rebel Yell, should we give her a Christmas present?
Yeah, go on.
I think Spencer, give her a Christmas
There you
present.
go.
But yeah, girls, thank you so much.
One of our Rebel Yell Two-Faced Twins shirts. Thanks very much. Thanks for all you do.
This is the Rebel Yell podcast.
Keith, would you like to take the hot seat? Keith Mitchell, Chief Operating Officer, everyone. Give him a round of applause.
Dun dun. Dun dun. No pressure.
No pressure, mate.
It's like mastermind this. Your specialised subject is?
Worthing FC.
1 minute starts now.
So, Keith, I think when you gave me a call earlier, bricking it because you wanted to come on the podcast and you were scared what we were going to ask you, weren't you? Or was that not meant to be repeated on air? No, I'm just making
I know the type of questions you normally ask.
Yeah, exactly. Normally that's what Barry says, but at least you haven't got into the habit of Barry asking me to edit everything out after the
We've normally got an edit. No edit tonight.
And it is recorded live, but as you know, it is not live, so it's not streaming yet. Next month, you never know, next time. Welcome back. I think, we can't remember, is this your first in the capacity of COO on the podcast?
It is, yeah, third in total, first in COO.
So I think we've said it before, but congratulations on that. Yeah, well deserved. This place looks nothing like it did back when we last interviewed you. What's happened?
Something happened.
What's gone on?
Well, it's funny actually because the other day I was thinking 10 months ago we didn't have the West Stand. You know, that was, if you remember back then, we were trying to desperately get the West Stand built before the live TV game against Bath City on TNT Sports, if you remember.
What was that West Stand's name called again?
I'm not going to go and repeat that. Big Z.
He's over there.
But now it has a proper sponsor. Thank you to Daniel.
Well, I thought that was a proper sponsor. That's a bit rude. You know what he's capable of.
No offence, Big Z. Yeah. But no, so that was back 10 months ago, and then obviously we got that built just in time with about 3 or 4 days to spare, I think, before the TNT game against Bath. And here we are now, with obviously the North Stand pretty much complete, in terms, certainly structurally, it's there. And I was sitting up in the South Stand earlier today, actually, sitting there with a cup of coffee, having a moment. And I looked across and I thought we had about 150 over 60s doing walk-in football on the pitch. We got the West Stand to the left. The sun was shining on the North Stand. And I was actually sort of, for a split second there, you think, actually, exactly what you said. What's happened here? You know, because in that relatively short space of time, it's transformed the ground.
And then you looked at the East Stand and go, what have we got to do here now?
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid the East Stand.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep out your eyesight.
I think we've had enough, enough positive things happen around the ground.
Oh, yeah.
It's been so much happening in such a short period of time. The turnarounds to get things done from scratch.
Yeah, and we've got to take stock. You know, we've also now got to turn around and say, look, the plan was always to get ourselves National League ready for whenever that promotion happens, Aggie. And
no pressure, Aggie.
And I think we've prepped ourselves pretty well. You know, we're in a position that, as I said, 10 months ago we weren't National League ready in terms of ground, and now we're very much there or thereabouts.
I'll have to say that especially on a Tuesday night, when the lights are on, you come walk towards Woodside and you look between the houses, you can see the new stand, and I think it looks amazing. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, thanks. And I think seeing it full. A couple of weeks ago, obviously, when we played Morecambe, put on an excellent display on the pitch. Unlucky to lose, arguably, but in terms of, from my perspective, looking around the ground and seeing where people are standing and kind of the vibe and the atmosphere that was created with 1,500 people in there, I think that was absolutely fantastic. It's really what we aimed for, really.
I think it's really added to the atmosphere because it spread people round a bit more, and there's already a good atmosphere going in that new stand. In the north stand.
I think some people might disagree with that.
Who?
Well, I think Aggie might confirm that
what, that you and Jack don't stand there giving him abuse the whole match?
No, it wasn't me. It was some other people who got very big mouths. But
no, I think we stood there for the second half. Perfect angle for your goal, Cash. There you go, perfect. And I said, get in the net. And we just couldn't. We looked out again. You couldn't believe this is like from where we were, like when we were in the playoffs, and you said all those horrible fans in orange were kind of wearing it, and the other end celebrating, and how it's changed so far. But I think it's fair to say it probably hasn't gone to schedule. But what building works ever do? Is there any sort of reason behind why it's completely taken such a long time?
It's taken longer than we would have wanted. Obviously, I think it's one of those things that when you see on a piece of paper as a drawing, it's completely different when you actually start putting a spade in the ground and seeing what it's all about. We had some foundation changes. Once you've built a hole or dug a hole if you like, you then can't go back over that again. It's filled with concrete and so on and so forth. So the logistics of building the stand have proved more tricky than we would have thought, and the footprint is so tight. You know, if you actually think about it, we're sitting now on the south stand, and we've got the same distance from the pitch fence to the bowls club fence, exactly the same distance of 8 metres that side. So to turn that 8 metres, we're under the construction process into what we've actually got now, a facility that can stand 1,891 people. I think is good use of the space. But because every time you build something, every time you dig a hole, you're losing that space to be able to use, it becomes increasingly difficult the further you go on, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so one of the big things that everyone keeps asking is the fan zone. And we ask you every time we come on, because I know it's not as easy as getting it clicked to that, but it still doesn't look anywhere near like what you want it to be. So what's the update with that?
Yeah, that's taken much longer than we wanted to as well, and the main reason for that is because of go back to the footprint of the ground. You know, where we're sitting within such a tight residential space, we haven't got like a storage area. If we were building a stadium from scratch in the middle of nowhere, then we would have all the area around it to use as compounds, to use for diggers, for use for various other bits and pieces which would then help us develop and build things quicker. But because we've got to use what space we've got within our footprint, something had to give. And unfortunately, we had to identify that. We couldn't knock the clubhouse down and use that. So it had to be the fan zone, which became a compound, which then meant we obviously couldn't go ahead and do the particular things that we wanted to do. But it's coming up fast now. And now the stand is pretty much complete. The clubhouse is taking that next step forward. The fan zone won't be far behind. Do
you think the roof could be up before we get really horrible conditions?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. We've got, you've probably seen even since last week, we just put some AstroTurf down. Everything's starting to smarten up there a little bit, ready now for us to start doing some trench work and get things done.
And we see the front bar looks like it's completed now. So is that done?
All but the last few finishing touches.
Yeah,
we opened that on a couple of soft openings recently. Got a really positive reaction. Opened it again Saturday, just gone. And sort of gave some guest appearances, if you like, invited some people along to get some feedback, give us some genuine ideas as to how well they think that we've done with what we've done, but what else we could still do to improve. There's some fine-tuning. We've got some great feedback from that. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of structurally and building-wise, it's pretty much complete. The next step then is to move into finish the reception area, the red gate area, and the fan zone, and then we'll be I think exactly where we wanted to be, but a little bit late. But from a positivity point of view, very much we still made those improvements that we said we would.
And what about the northwest corner with the kiosk, etc.? How far is that off?
Yeah, that's not far off either. I would say a couple of weeks. I'd like to think that would be complete. All the inside works have been done. All the drainage has been linked up. All the things that we couldn't have done until we sort of got to the stage we had with the back of the stand. So those things are linked. Obviously, with a toilet block, for example, you've got to drain the water away. You can't just leave it there. So those things have got to work and have got to fit alongside something else as well. As a bit of a domino effect. Once something's happened, then you can do something else. But a couple of weeks, I'd like to think.
Is that where the tarmac will be laid behind? the stand
we've got a fence to go up at the back, tarmac to be laid, and that tarmac will extend down in front of that northwest kiosk as well. So that will also help finish it off a little bit as well.
And can I check just the front bar? Because there's all these rumours and up in the air what it's actually going to be used for. What is it? Can you confirm what the front bar will be used for?
Yes, I can. We're going to operate that as a dual function facility. So we're going to use it as an 1886 club lounge. So you'll be able to people will have the opportunity to purchase an experience in there where they come down for a match day. Details to follow on what that actually looks like when that gets circulated. But it gives us, if you come to so many of the teams we go to away are either larger clubs that are downsizing or downscaling on the way down. We've got to look at when we go to those grounds what they've got. And our upwards trajectory means that we should really be aspiring to not be left out in the cold. So it's a sort of facility, a football club with the aspirations that we've got should be looking to provide is decent hospitality, a hospitality offering, some kind of match day experience that potentially gives us an alternative to what we currently can offer, with just the sort of other ordinary bits and pieces, mainstream facilities we've got around the ground. So it's nice to be able to be in the ballpark where we can provide something that makes us feel proud that we can offer other clubs and those dignitaries that come and people that are prepared to support the club, whether it's sponsors or any other friends and associates of the football club, we can give them a different and better experience than potentially that they could currently get. And it's not for everybody, and it can't be for everybody because obviously it's limited in terms of size, but it certainly is another alternative that we're proud to be able to offer.
Prawn sandwiches in there.
And the second thing is obviously on the days when we don't have match days, is to be able to let that out as a function room and usable space for
podcast studio.
Would be nice
for things like wedding receptions, etc., etc., etc. Things that we can't really cater for properly here at the moment.
God, can you imagine that, getting married on the Woodside pitch?
I'm sure there'll be some that will.
So on a match day, is that a commercial opportunity then for, sponsorship packages or whatever? So, sponsor the match and...
Absolutely. I mean, at the moment, our sponsorship previously, our match day sponsorship was a case of having the table down the end of the stand bar, with the pictures and the other bits and pieces. And what we felt was that actually to scale up what we can offer, it's only right that we create these type of facilities and become a bit more fit for purpose, like we have done with the rest of the ground. We've put a great stand in. We're working towards getting the fan zone done, and now having that as an indoor opportunity as well. Like you said, with commercial opportunities for either functions, hospitality, sponsorship, etc., is something we felt was important.
Need to try and get that guy from YouTube. The padded seat. He goes around reviewing corporate hospitality.
I'm sure we're increasingly going to be on his radar at some point, without doubt.
Well, I think that leads on to. I think you were going to ask about the documentary and the aftermath of the documentary. Like, has it brought any sort of business to the club? Any more?
James has asked now,
isn't it? Well, you looked all confused.
I am.
So, as a documentary, how's it had an effect on the club?
Well, I think let's just go back to the documentary itself for a second. I think anybody that watched the documentary has got to accept the fact that it was a really quality piece of work, really well delivered, very polished. They did a brilliant job in the production of it, and I think that everybody that was in it and everybody that's watched it subsequently has got a good reason to be proud, because it was a fantastic piece. And off the back of that, yes, of course, there's been interest in the club. We've also been on the radar, as recently with the FA Cup being with the men's team on the BBC when the highlights reel. We know we're on the radar for DAZN in terms of taking over from National League TV. We know we're still on TNT's radar as well. So in terms of shop window stuff, all the whole media elements have been good. We even actually had, by the way, Netflix come down last week and recorded Squid Games on the football pitch.
What, here?
Yeah, here.
Oh, wow.
So we kept that one quiet. We were asked to, but that's the kind of thing. I mean, I don't think we would have got that before. So I know that's not really the answer you're looking for. We're looking about more from the commercial element. Yes, Jack, I know you're looking to ask a question.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot on social media, and especially goalkeepers' clubs. They seem to be filming a lot here.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they book us once or twice a week, come down and do various things in terms of the filming. Obviously, we know that the Georgia story also going to be turned into a cinematic experience, which I think is another big shot in the arm. It's aired very well. The documentary's aired very well in the States and across about another 14 or 15 countries across Europe, and it's been well received. And that list of countries that are going to show it continues to increase. So it's been a success. And if we're not on people's radars now, it's only a matter of time, I think, before we actually are.
Yeah, no, I think because we thought, I didn't see one negative review about that at all. I think everything's been positive, and I don't see how anyone, even if they weren't interested remotely in football, could actually say that was an awful documentary, because it was heartwarming, there was a story behind it, you saw a passion of a club. I mean, everyone here, I think, was kind of hoping it might continue on to more of a regular thing, but I think with talking to the producers on an episode a couple of months ago, I think with the DAZN now getting it, it's down to them rather than TNT. But, I mean, you must be happy.
Yeah, delighted. I mean, the exposure the club's getting is all very positive. There's a lot of people doing a lot of good things, a lot of things moving in the right direction. It's hard work. These things don't fall on your lap. You have to work for them. You have to water the plant. You have to keep on going. And even with things like delays on the ground developments, you still got to keep a positive attitude, a can-do attitude. And I think whilst you're surrounded by people that have that, then anything can be achieved.
Yeah, everything's on an upward trajectory. Everything's going the right way, which is all you want to see.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that with success on the pitch, obviously both we touched on already with the ladies' team breaking new ground in the FA Cup. Sitting in a solid position within the league, men's team still in 2 cup competitions and in a playoff position with a game in hand. You know, that's on the pitch. And then obviously with the youth development, the guys and girls coming through, the pathway that we've got, looking outside earlier on with all the youngsters running around, and the youth team development, is so much to be positive on the pitch. And it's nice to now look around the ground and say, actually, we're kind of catching up or caught up a little bit more on where we were before in terms of what the ground looks like to support the football club.
Talking about that, have you got any plans for the future that you're looking at already, sort of to develop the ground? I mean, I know that end's kind of hard, but you must be sort of looking at the shed and going, no, it doesn't really fit in now, does it?
Well, of course, that's the thing, isn't it? When you get a shiny new coin, everything looks old.
Yeah.
So, I think, look, what we're going to do is we're going to finish what we've got planned and get over the line with that. Take stock, as I mentioned, in the close season, and see potentially what the art of the possible is for next time. But certainly, you know, there's a desire and an ambition, as you know, to continue to develop, continue to grow. We've still got the same footprint. It's not easy. Every time we build something, it becomes harder, you know, to try and get something else in. How we're going to fit that? How do we do this? How do we do that? Because the next step after National League is a game changer, right? You're talking then 5,000 capacity instead of 4,000, of which 2,000 have got to be seated. And that in itself, if you actually then look around the ground of what we currently got and think, how are we going to do that then?
Yeah.
Right.
We got to think things as well, like segregation. So at the moment, from what I can see, if we needed to fully segregate and needed seating, that's an issue.
At our level at the moment, we just have to be able to provide segregated area, giving them essentials, which we do. National League, we've got the option of half the stand that's got a natural segregation barrier in it. But in terms of going forward, as a long list of compliance and a long list of what we need to do has to be added into the mix, and that's all part of the consideration. So we want to get what we've done, what we've planned finished first, and then go, right, okay, so what's next and what's that going to look like?
Well, Keith, thank you very much for being open and honest, as you usually are. What I think we say, got asked what we asked the girls. Odd Christmas present, favourite food? I mean, it must have been odd Christmas when you spent it in Saudi, because I guess...
Well, it was actually funny you mentioned Saudi, because obviously you don't celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
So having done a few years in there, I missed out on a few Secret Santas, it's got to be said.
I think God, Ellen. There you go, yeah.
I don't know, really. I've never really been one for Secret Santas. Strangest gift I've ever got, swimming goggles.
Okay.
Right. I don't know why that's weird. It just seemed really strange. I already had about 4
If you'd say you can't swim.
Oh, no, I can. I already had about 4 pairs of swimming goggles. It's random, and opened up a Christmas present. It's a pair of swimming goggles. It's kind of like, thanks.
Yeah, no. And what about your favourite food? Because you won't be having any pigs in blankets out in Saudi, were you?
No, you won't be having that, that's for sure. Do you know what I like? I'm, I know Izzy said about, she likes the pie mash, and for me, it's Boxing Day. We wake up on Boxing Day and it's all the cold meats, everything that's left over from the day before, with the pickles and all the other stuff, and you just literally just chuck it out on the table and just you just stuff yourself with all the stuff from the day before. So I probably prefer Boxing Day meals to Christmas dinner.
Well, there we go. Keith, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Cheers, Keith.
This is the Rebel Yell Podcast. This is the Rebel Yell Podcast.
Right, guys, half time of the show. We've had a raffle, which everyone thinks is biased. And we've now got interference, which is not biased, but annoying. Feedback, that's it, yeah. We raised 55 quid for the Worthing Food Foundation from that raffle, so thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you for supporting. Hope you enjoy your prizes. We've got 2 of the men's players now. Jack Spong, welcome to the Rebel Yell Podcast. And welcome back, Danny Cashman.
Our top model.
Look how cool he is.
Top model.
Oh, well, I'll try.
Worthing's next top model.
I'll stick to football first and then...
I think it's so... You and Danny doing like a nice little photo shoot in the cold. It was about January last year, wasn't it? I think we did it.
Oh, that one.
Do you forget it already? You forgot the one over the stand.
Two-faced twin.
Didn't make an impression then.
I didn't look that good enough.
You weren't pleased with those photos? No. What would you change if we had to do it again?
Probably get a haircut for a starter. And then,
but you had your hat on, so do you want to flash
He's got his player sponsorship to use, isn't he?
Get Blades to cut your hair just before next time. But welcome back to the podcast. Danny, it's we had you on... When did you rejoin the club?
Last season, wasn't it?
Yeah, when?
Yeah. Last September, I think.
Last September,
Maybe.
it was, wasn't it? Yeah, just after the season started. But obviously You came in, as I'm sure you can admit, you weren't in the best place footballer-wise. You hadn't had the best experience, which obviously don't go into because that's all in the past. But how do you feel now? Like, you've been in the squad, you've been an imperative part of the squad since the playoff run last year. You feature in every game now. So how have you finally found happy with football again?
Yeah, I think it's taken its time, obviously, but I think as time's gone on, obviously connecting with the boys and just kind of being free again to express myself on the football pitch has kind of made me play my best football, really. Yeah.
So obviously a new manager, quite a few new teammates. How's it been, like, readjusting again? Because obviously we lost quite a few last season that you come close to. It must be. I mean, Tutty's still around. We all know Tutty loves you. Is that the reason why Tutty's still at the club, Aggie? Because he's like his PA or something like that.
He's hanging on.
He's hanging on. But what's it been like this season? How does it feel?
No, I think it's been fine. I think obviously since the first day of pre-season, really, I think everyone's kind of connected together. I think even on the pitch, you can see we're all on the same sort of page with what we want to do and where we want to get to, which is always a good thing. So it's not been hard. I think it's been quite an easy transition. To be fair, obviously we've lost some big players from last year. There's no denying that, but considering what we have lost and where we are now, I think we're in a good place.
Yeah, well, we all said, like, Saturday's game, we thought, like, it just all seemed to all of a sudden click. And I think the scoreline flattered them because I think it could have been a lot more. And that must have been what you felt around the changing room as well.
Yeah, but I think, you have to, experiment with a few things. And, it's not that easy to, I think we've won 18 games now. So, things have, 1 week we might have been saying something else. And just because we won 3-0 and it was quite comfy, that doesn't mean it's the answer. I mean, it might be, but there's still a long way to go, and hopefully we can just carry on with that game on Saturday and keep taking it tomorrow and then Saturday again.
I thought Saturday, the first half, was the best I've seen Worthing play this season, and maybe better than sometimes last year.
Yeah, I mean, no, I agree. I think we were very effective with what we did. I think the way we hurt them, they kind of didn't expect it, which is also another thing I thought going into the game was going to happen, because most teams probably kind of knew how to sit up against us, which is obviously like sitting a low block and kind of just wait for us to make a mistake or something, which is like the norm really with Worthing. We dominate the ball pretty much every game, so there's never normally that problem. But I think with the two boys up top, it kind of gave them a different sort of problem, which helped us. And getting an early goal as well was always a good thing as well. I think we've gone 1-0 down probably a few times too many this season. To go 1-0 up is always a big shift in mindset.
And do you think, I thought the red card killed the game because the second half we were not as great as the first half, even though we were dominating them with 11 men on the pitch anyway?
It killed the game from a neutral's point of view, because I think if like it does that. But I think what we did, considering they had 10 men, we dominated the game. We didn't really give them a sniff, and that's all we can do. We've got to do that job on the pitch. But I think if I was a neutral watching that game, you'd obviously think it killed it, obviously, because you'd want to see 11v11. And I still believe even if there was 11v11, we dominate that game anyway. Especially with coming in the first half and the way we played, I don't think they would have lived with that in the second half, especially going down that end as well.
Well, let's take it back to the very first game of the season, and probably the worst half an hour I've seen our first half of the season we've seen against Western again. You scored the winning goal, that penalty. You scored some beauty free kicks, mate. I mean, that day was on fire. What was the pressure like? Step up. I mean, I know you take your penalties all the time as part of the game, but to actually make sure we win the game and come back from a 3-0 deficit at half time, that must have been one of the probably the worst halves of football so far this season, but also one of the best matches and results because of the way it happened. So
I think that game summed up football in terms of like how quick it can change and how one feeling to another feeling can happen that quickly. Obviously, going in at 3-0 down, obviously wasn't a nice dressing room to go into at half time, but the way we came out and did that in the second half was, is what we can do, and if we can do that on a regular basis, then I don't think a lot of teams can live with us. And in terms of the penalty, the whole of pre-season I was kind of taking pens in a different way, and then that game I just stopped. As you see, I do that little stop now, just to look where the keeper went, and kind of just went the other way. But
can I ask, did it at half time? The fans are saying 3-0 on your big day out. Like, I'm sure a lot of chants you hear sometimes, and sometimes you just completely blur out because you're so focused on the game. But if you did hear that, do you think some of the lads did hear that and go, they can't be singing that at half-time, 3-0 on your big day out, like the Western fans, and that must G you on a bit to go, shut them up, let's get this back?
I mean, I don't know about you, but I didn't hear that, to be fair. So, I think when you're playing football, you just concentrate on what's happening in and around you. But I think, everyone's different. Everyone's got different mindsets to games that might, help some people, like, to get motivated. It might just, some people, I mean, like myself, I didn't hear it, so it kind of, I just blurred it out really. But for different people, it's different.
So speaking of mindsets and moving on from that first game at Western, then how have you found this season with that sort of front loading at the start of the season of the away games, no home games? How do you find that sort of preparation wise and the travelling and getting settled into the season?
Yeah, it's obviously not normal for any team to sort of do, especially as all the pre-season games were away as well. Obviously, granted, they weren't really that far apart from one, which I blame Nate for, but in terms of... we got used to it over time, and it was just, obviously there was a few long ones in there as well, but we sort of looked at it as, the first 6 are away, and then we that's out of the way now, and kind of we can sort of look towards, our home games and sort of making a foundation there. And I still think out of the 6 we had away, we picked up some really good points, and I think, granted, if the Churro game didn't happen, I think we're probably in a lot better position now in terms of maybe our goal difference would be better, but that was just a one-off fluke, which happens in football, but hopefully never.
But yeah, it's coming back to us now though with the run of home games we've got, so it's taking advantage of that.
Yeah, 100%.
I think we only dropped. Was it only 7 points we dropped on those first away games of the season? 1 loss, 2 draws, and the rest all wins.
Yeah.
I mean, we all said like we get 9 points, that's 6 points out of that, we'd be happy because of the amount of away games distances. So to come away with that must have been just to sort of lay the foundations to come home and actually start the season really well and progress.
Well, it was also, there was, I think, 2 weeks of, Saturday, Monday. So that in itself, and then we had a Churro away on the Monday as well. So that was, playing games and then travelling that long way does obviously play a part in, feeling fatigued and that. But, we just have to get on with it and try and do our best.
Well, I always say Christmas is sort of the part of the season where sort of the leagues start forming and stuff. But as we all know, this league's wide open at the moment. Like anyone can be anywhere. Look, we just beaten Western, who were sort of top of the league past weekend, and now we've beaten them. They dropped down and played. People are swapping all the time. How do you feel like the club's going and sort of goals, your own personal goals this season? How do you think they're sort of coming to fruition?
Well, I think the reason I stayed was because we're all on the same page and what we all want is the same. And I think everyone that's came in and everyone that's stayed is all on that same boat. I think we're doing okay. I think we can improve. I think that's just normal. But especially at home, I don't fear anyone anyway. I think away is obviously different because you've got the different grounds and how teams set up, and that home advantage can always play a part to them. But I don't fear any team really, apart from maybe a couple of the big hitters that But then again, I feel like there's more of a game where them games I think we're better off at, because when we go to teams that, with no disrespect, that probably aren't favourites, our mindset probably could be a little bit better. But when we go to a Boreham Wood or a Mason or a Torquay, it's probably 50-50, and then I feel like more players then G themselves up for that.
I mean, that run of play to score the winner at Boreham Wood was just amazing, and you're all you're a little social superstar for that week, weren't you?
Yeah, well, one off, that won't ever happen again, I don't think so.
Well, I don't know.
You never know.
I mean, but we're like, in the stand, you're like, he's going to lose it, he's going to lose it. It's a bit like Ollie, in the playoff semi last year, where Ollie, he had the ball to send us into the final, and we thought, he's going to lose it, kept it and got it. And that was just, that must have been up there with one of your sort of best goals and runs of plays you've had.
It's probably my best goal that I've scored. But, I think it was just in the moment sort of thing.
Yeah.
You didn't think about anything. You just kind of went with the flow and kind of see how far I could get, and just ended up scoring.
And I guess it helps you playing with a lot of players you've grown up with as well, like, through the youth system and stuff. Does that make you feel more settled and, the style of play you can do?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, Spongy is my best mate, and so is Tutty.
Don't tell Tutty.
Yeah.
He said you first. If Tutty was sitting there, he's crying now.
Yeah, I know.
How is old Tutty, by the way? Is he all right? Is he nearly is he fit again?
Yeah, he was back in training last Thursday, so
that's
probably
nice,
next Tuesday.
Here for the bants and all that,
Yeah, he's
Get him on the TikTok, because I'm sure he'll be having a bit of TikTok videos.
Yeah, he'll do anything to pick a job up here. So, just,
selling him well there, mate.
Yeah,
selling him well.
I've tried defending him long enough, so same as him.
Throwing it under the
I'm
bus
on my
now,
last legs with him, so
yeah.
he might not be my friend soon. So
yeah, controversial there, Aggie, when it gets back. But it must be nice though for you to, like, you know, people that you obviously grown up with the youth system and then gone your own ways and stuff, and then to be reunited and playing a team that's playing really well, competing at a really good level.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a job. Do you know what I mean? It feels like, you know, the reason to why you play football. You know, obviously it helps. Like, two of my best mates are here, so. But obviously we probably understand at some point that isn't going to last forever, and you know that's why how it is now, kind of just live in the moment, sort of take as it comes. You know, rather than thinking about, you know, 3, 4, 5 weeks or a year or whatnot. You know, just kind of live in the moment now and enjoy it, because we understand that we all want to progress in our careers, and you know, with the club and you know, as high as we can get individually. That it's probably not going to be on the same sort of journey at some point. So just embrace it as it comes.
We enjoyed your summer holidays, didn't you? How many did you have? I think they're worse than me, aren't they? They call me Judith Chalmers.
Yeah.
You and Tutty, how many did you go on? 3?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, good times?
Yeah, they were good, yeah.
Times that we can't really talk about.
That you can remember.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about half them, but
yeah,
it looked like you had a good time and prepared you well for the season.
No, it did, yeah. Well,
but Cashy, good luck for the rest of the season. What sort of goals still? What are your goals for the rest of the season, would you say? Stepping into the number 10 shirts, obviously big boots to fill as well.
I don't think I'm doing too bad.
You're not doing too bad at all,
don't get
mate.
me wrong, if I get anywhere near what he got, then...
No, please don't, because you might have to go again and we'll lose another good player, you know. But still do good, but just not like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think on a personal level, obviously, as a collective, I want to get promoted with the team and, you know, get the next step with this club, and, you know, on a personal level, kind of probably... I've aimed for, like, 20 goals and, you know, double figures on assists as well, so which I'm not too far off at the moment. So hopefully just carry on, keep going.
Hopefully a good Christmas period. Cash, thanks very much, mate. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Mr. Free Kick himself, Jack Spong, welcome to the Rebel Yell podcast. How you doing, mate?
I'm all good.
Yeah, thank you for I mean, we've thrown you under the bus a bit like Izzy, like by a live podcast. You know, they get to normally sit behind the scenes and not actually do it, but you can do it in front of a live crowd. Thank you. Most of them go shy and run away, but you're still here, which is good. We had an interval.
Dragging him to doing the raffle as well.
Yeah, getting you to do the raffle. There you go. If you need a job on the National Lottery, I'm sure they've got something going. If that's all right, mate. No, you never know. So, when did you sign here? Let's remind you when you signed. It's a big, because you were here.
I was here last season, I think February.
Yeah.
Last season I joined.
Yeah.
Just after the window.
Because it was like that sort of part. And you came from Scotland, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that like?
Yeah, it weren't great.
Deep fried hotties?
It's cold up there, isn't it?
Yeah. So you say that, like, okay, like you say it weren't that great. You obviously didn't enjoy yourself. So how did that move come about? Why did the move come about? Like, 'cause it's such a sort of place to go, like, you know, completely out of the sort of blue.
To be honest, it was quite random. So I was just on a holiday in the summer, and then I got a call from the director at the club I was at saying that he wants me to come, and it just sort of, it went really quickly, and then within a week, to be honest, I was up there. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't all bad, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, to be honest with you. But I don't regret going, because I obviously asked all my mates and that what they thought. And I asked Cash, and he went, "No, don't do that." To be fair. But yeah, I always just thought to myself, if I didn't go, and
you would regret the rest of your life, wouldn't you?
It would have always been like, what if sort of thing. So I'm happy I went, but it didn't work out, and then now I'm here.
Well, I guess it adds to your building of you as a character and sort of a footballer yourself. You're not, every move ain't going to be perfect. We know that. I don't know many footballers that every move is perfect, you know, so there's always going to be these things. So it must have taken a big step. Far from home as well, I'd say as well. You must have been a little bit homesick.
Yeah, to be honest, at the start, because I've obviously before that I was at Brighton and I've always been close to home.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd sort of feel homesick, because I always thought, oh, I'd be all right. But it's definitely one of them things that you don't know how hard it is until you've actually done it.
Yeah.
And definitely at the start, I was very homesick and missed my mates, missed my family, and just wanted to come home. And obviously everyone knows it's not like a 2-hour car journey, it's miles. So I didn't get to come home very often. And up there, it's jam-packed with games. Like, even in pre-season, it's like a cup. So it's like just game. So there's not much time off or anything like that. But no, it was a regret, but I'm happy I done it.
Do you miss anything up there? Like, is there anything you miss?
Nah, to be honest,
really?
No. Like, everything about it. It was just, because I was living in Glasgow as well, so I thought, it's going to be a nice city and that. But to me, I think Edinburgh's the place to be up there, not Glasgow. So I don't miss living there. The weather weren't great. I mean, the boys were good though. The boys were good.
We've asked like Christmas food, which we'll get round to. But did you try any of the Scottish delicacies like deep fried everything, Mars bars, pizza, haggis, all that?
No, to be honest, I don't think many people like was eating that sort of stuff. Just the people.
I don't think it's a footballer diet, really. I don't think. Yeah, no.
But no, I didn't get to try any of it. But the normal meat up there is good. Like I think it's a bit more fresh. I don't know why, but. That on that hand, it was good, but
Aberdeen Angus and all that.
Yeah,
anyway, yeah. So, how did the move come about to Worthing? Like, obviously, you came sort of partway through the season, just after the window and everything. So, how did that all?
Yeah. So, to be honest, I was talking to Cash saying that I think I'm just gonna
get me out of here. Get me out.
Yeah,
of here.
No, I think I'm just gonna come back home. I'm just not enjoying it. And he said that a couple of the boys have left from here, and obviously at the time, Hinch was the manager that I knew from Brighton. So I asked Cash just to basically put a word in and say if it's possible, and he said it would. And then it's sort of when I got out of the contract and bits up there and came down, then I ended up coming in here for training and ended up signing.
Is Cash your agent?
Well, might as well be.
Yeah. No, so I mean, I think to be honest, you hit the ground running. Like you were in the squad, playing games, playing really well, really adding to that. So, like Cash has said, like you must have found it must have been quite quick to enjoy your football again.
Yeah, no, it was different because obviously the boys over here are new already, so it wasn't like coming into a new club in that aspect. I was more nervous, to be fair, about the actual football. And obviously it probably sounds a bit weird because obviously on the leagues and bits, Worthing's a lot lower, but I think everyone knows that plays football, that men's football is just completely different. And the lower you go, let's say maybe the more physical it is. So I was more nervous on that side than it was actually going to a new club, meeting all the people. But yeah, as soon as I came in, I thought I started well, and then I think maybe faded away a little bit, but then I ended quite strong, so I was happy.
Yeah, you.
How would you describe your season so far then? Because obviously...
This season?
Yeah.
It's been all right. No,
I think...
That's an understatement.
I think... Have you changed as a player? How you move on the pitch? I think... Obviously, you scored some amazing free kicks.
Yeah, I think at the start of the season, I've been playing quite higher than I normally do. So I think, like, outside of football, I seem like I'm more involved because of maybe I've scored more goals and assists. But, yeah, I don't know. Obviously, lost a bit of weight because I put on a bit of weight in the summer. So once I lost a bit of weight, then I can move around the pitch a bit more. And, yeah, I wouldn't say I've changed as a player because I think last season I was playing different positions. Like, obviously, the playoffs, I was playing full-back. And obviously now, this season, I've been playing centre midfield and 10. Obviously, they're completely different. So I wouldn't say I've changed. I just think I've adapted sort of thing to different positions.
I just want to say that the toe poke you did on Saturday, what kept the move going, I thought it was amazing. I thought we lost the ball, but you toe poked and then
I
we
blame
scored.
Cookie for that. That's Cookie's
He's
pass.
not there anyway.
Yeah, no, thank God.
Because I've noticed as well, your play this season as well. Like you say, it's different positions, so different. But not that you weren't doing this last season, but your work rate's really gone up. So is that positioning? Is that Aggie saying you need, pushing you more?
Yeah,
to get involved. Because you are
happened.
involved a lot, which is great.
Yeah, no, that's happened. Like, I feel if I let my foot off the gas, let's say, I think the gaffer will tell me, and he has told me that I need to put more in. Like I said, probably looking after myself off the pitch a lot better than I was, because obviously going from full time to then going part time.
Yeah,
there's a bit of a difference in the aspect of you're not doing as much.
The mentality.
Yeah, so once I got the hang of that, I feel like I'm in better shape than I have been since I've been at Worthing. So I think that just helps with getting around the pitch, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've really enjoyed the way you've been linking up with Tommy as well, like, in the midfield. But it must be, like we said with Cash, it's like, it just must be nice to play with people you regard as friends, and you can you just know how each other plays. It must make your job as a footballer much easier.
Yeah, no, I think, like Cash said, sort of everyone's on the same sort of page. So I wouldn't say that we have many egos in the team at all. So if we're looking for the 1-2s, like probably the fans probably saying we're trying to walk the ball in the goal, but I don't think that's even us wanting to do that. That's just us always trying to find the pass and trying to set someone else up and bits like that. So it is enjoyable, and obviously it helps that everyone, like Cash said, wants to go higher. Let's say like with Worthing, but it's enjoyable. Yeah.
So Jack, first time on.
Yeah.
You know the routine.
Yeah.
Interesting fact.
I've had a bit of time to think about this as well.
No excuse.
It better be good then.
No, to be honest, I'm quite an open book, but as we're talking about Tutty, I'll tell you a little story that me and him.
Right. Could you write a book about Tutty?
No, we could.
Yeah.
100%.
But when you retire, the life according to Cam Tutt.
We were sat watching the football at mine. We were sat in the lounge, and Tutty was sitting in the corner eating some sweets. And he went, "Oh, try one of these. Like, they're really good." And he chucked me one over. I put one in my mouth. My tooth came out. So that's the interesting fact.
What sweets were they? Gobstoppers or something?
Yeah, jawbreakers. Is that what they
call? And you crunched it?
Literally my tooth. So that's the interesting fact.
I do worry sometimes. Yeah, I mean, bloody hell. Have you got him back for that though?
Nah.
Is it coming?
No, I think I give him enough, to be honest.
Giving up, okay, yeah. I think things we can't repeat and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. Well, Jack, Danny, we haven't finished before I cliff you up. Christmas food, favourite Christmas food?
For me, it's pigs in blankets. It is.
There you go, got to be done.
Good choice.
I'm the same.
Yeah. And what's the weirdest Christmas present you ever got? Edible bongs or anything?
What's Cam bought you?
I haven't actually got any weird ones, I don't think. I'm trying to think of
What, the best one then or something?
Oh, the best one?
Or the best one, yeah.
Not too sure. Probably...
Had a good birthday present.
Yeah, they got me. When I was up in Manchester, they got me... I came down for the weekend. It was my birthday. Even though it's off topic. But him, Tutty, and one of my other mates got me a Brighton kit. But it was... the size of a baby with Cashman on the back.
Yeah.
So yeah, but they wrapped it in a pair of, I think it was it Gucci shoes or it's like so was it, yeah. Obviously I was buzzing when I've opened it and I'm like, oh, a pair of Gucci shoes, like I've actually got good mates. So I thought I had good mates, and then I've opened it and it's a baby kit.
You still got it?
No, I chucked it away straight away.
I've had it in the auction tonight. You could have done that. Yeah,
it was that hit home, that one did. So yeah.
So is that why Tutty gets all the abuse now? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Because I could bet it was him that. Was it his idea?
It probably was. He didn't want to pay for it though, did he? That's Tutty. He comes up with the ideas and then he finds dust in his wallet. So
yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So there we go. Good luck for the trophy on Saturday. Hopefully get another round closer to the final, because that must be the goal now to get to Wembley.
Oh, why not? I mean,
we've done the Amex. Time for Wembley, surely.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's one of them ones, isn't it, where you got to just see it's cup as well, so anything can happen. And obviously, I think it helps being at home as well. So we should get a good crowd for that, and hopefully put on a good performance.
That'll be good. Well, good luck, guys. Thanks very much for coming on.
Cheers,
and
guys.
have a good Christmas.
Cheers, guys.
Excellent, thank you.
This is the Rebel Yell podcast.
Last but not least, the two managers of Worthing FC, JC and Aggie. Welcome up, guys. And I guess welcome finally to the live edition of the podcast, Aggie, because you had a really lame excuse last time. Managers meeting, yeah.
I know,
what was
sorry.
it? Yeah, there we go. As we said, sort of coming up to Christmas, a lot of people say business time sort of start forming. How do you think the season has gone? So you joined in, was it May you officially came? So you've been here over half a year now. How have you found it going?
It's gone quick.
Yeah, how's that?
Yeah, it's gone quick. I think we're in a really good place. I think we're in a really good position. Obviously, when we win tomorrow night, we'll be 3 points off top.
Is that where we'll be? Oh.
Yeah, so we're 6 points off top of the game in hand at the minute. So, so we know we're in a really good place, but there is a bit of a feeling that, especially over the last week, where we've managed to chuck points away, what could have been. But most pleasing is we feel like performances are improving. Saturday was very good.
Very good.
we feel like individual players are improving as well. So like, I'm not going to embarrass him too much, but I think Spong has been brilliant for the past month, 6 weeks. If there's a better midfield player in the league, I want to see him with how he's playing at the minute. And you can just see that everything seems to be moving in the right direction. I think most exciting is that we've beaten Boreham Wood, we've beaten Western, who are the top teams in the league, and I still feel like we've got a lot left in the tank, like Cash said, to be fair. I think we're, if we keep going the way we are, I think we'll be a very, very, very good team in the new year.
It's really impressive as well, where there had been blips, come straight back, bounce back, really good performances and got the wins back.
Yeah, I mean, Cash hits the nail on the head. Our issue is not Boreham Wood at home in front of 2,000 people. It's not Morecambe at home in front of 2,000 people. It's Chesham away in an absolute...
Lovely ground. Lovely environment, yeah? That's what you're going to say.
We walked out onto the pitch and it was around Armistice Day, and I thought the minute silence had started because it was so quiet, and you're thinking, oh my God, it was just soulless. And then you see the slope on the pitch.
Massive slope.
You're just thinking, oh no. Right. And then you look at the way that Chesham played and the way that we got dragged into their type of football, and then Glenn gets sent off, and you're thinking, Jesus Christ, that's what will define whether or not we win the league this year. Because the big games I don't worry about because we've got a load of big game players. It's the Bath away on a Tuesday night. Yeah. It's the Salisbury away on a Tuesday night.
Well, that Bath game, that was a great result at the end. But God, we had to work for that, didn't we?
But you know what? Like that was the. I come away from that game. That's where I thought, we've got a real chance here because we've got that in the tank. Like I've been fortunate to have been part of teams that have won stuff, and it's those games where you go, right, we've got a chance now. Like it's obviously the 3-0s at home at Western are great and they're memorable, but it's the 2-0s away at Bath. It's should have been the point away at Farnborough at least. Yeah. That sort of gets you over the line really. But I just think it's exciting because, like I said, the team's improving and we've got a group of players that are improving, which is positive.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've really seen improvements in players. Like, we interviewed Mo on the last podcast, and he himself admitted that he wasn't fixed. He didn't really have a pre-season. He hadn't been playing, so he had to get his fitness. And he just seems to be settling in really well now. I mean, the goal he scored on, because to be honest, he probably admitted that a lot of his goals have been sort of almost tap-ins and stuff like that. But that goal on Saturday was just class. Like took the defender on, curled it around the keeper. It was just brilliant. So putting Temi up with him, you must have been happy at that result, because you said on the interview after you were sort of testing out, you'd been thinking about it for a few weeks, and to get the result, and I think they played bloody well together.
Yeah, I liked it when it was Bath away where we brought Harrison and Temi on late on in the game as a pair, and you got to be a decent backline to deal with them two, and then we sort of looked at Mo and Temi against Eastbourne United in the senior cup, albeit slightly different. And we just felt, again, what Cash said, we felt that Western would do a lot of work on us playing 3-box-3 with a single number 9 and 2 10s, and we just thought we'd throw them a curveball. And also as well, like the lads will agree, like Temi, I had to play him. Do you know what I mean? It was one of them. He's training so well. He's working incredibly hard. Every time he comes on the pitch, he has an effect. You think he's making it under. I've got to play him.
He's a nuisance, isn't he?
Well, he is, and I look a lot as well at like these guys in terms of, do they want to play with them? Like, let's not dress it up. These guys are our best players. Like if we get the best out of them, we're going to go a long way to winning games. So part of what we do is, right, how can we get the best out of them? And one of the things that myself and the staff we look at is, does Cash want to pass him the ball? Like generally, we look at that, and we've seen it with some of the other players. You go, he don't really want to give him the ball, and there's one reason for that, is because, I'm not embarrassing him, but he's really bright and switched on. He ain't going to give you the ball if you don't get it back, or he's not going to give you the ball if you're not going to do something with it. Yeah. And we're just looking at with Temi is, like, just naturally there's combinations, like people are happy to give him the ball and then run off him, and you look at that and you go, well, if we get Temi on the pitch, that's going to get the best out of these guys, and that's obviously going to help us. And I just think we're in a good place as well, where we can we can change shape as well now. So rather than be wedded to one formation, we've got sort of 2 or 3 formations we can go to, which with all the prep that teams can do now, obviously with Y Scout, I don't know whether you know, but we can watch every single game. So like today, I've sort of reflection of my sort of lifestyle really. I've sat there watching Salisbury most of the day, so you can get a real good idea of what the opposition are doing. So if we can throw them a bit of a curveball like we did on Saturday, then that's only going to help us.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely, well, I mean, that's a great tool to have, because I guess it prepares you even better than you had before, I guess, relying on YouTube highlight videos and stuff like that. I guess you were alluding to some of the changes. Obviously, players joined the club at the summer and maybe
one leaving,
and they've already gone, maybe not fitting into your style of play. Do you feel like you've got, I mean, one thing I was going to ask, obviously Kane Wills leaving is going to be a massive miss, and that's like, we're all going to miss him personal and, you know, seeing on the pitch. So that must be a hole that you got to fill, but you probably got the right squad and characters to sort of fill that gap.
Yeah, there was a couple of errors in the summer, but to be fair, there always is. There's always, I know it's a bit ruthless, but there's always a bit of wastage. And you can either have those difficult conversations early and sort of put it to bed, or you can let it linger, and it ends up impacting the rest of the group. And that was one of the things that we looked at. I mean, he won't like it, but we were looking at him going, there was a couple of times, it was a St Albans game, and he could have slid a certain centre forward in, and he didn't. And I thought, that for me is feedback, and for the staff, you're going, right, fair enough. So we obviously had to make difficult decisions, but we're really happy with the squad, especially where it looks like a bit of a merry-go-round at the minute. I mean, Nathan messaging me every 20 minutes with players, and
No.
Oh, it's like Championship Manager, honestly.
Perhaps that's what he's doing.
Christ.
Perhaps he's on Championship Manager.
I know,
I've seen his
Christ. It's just like player and playing. I think continuity is really important. I think the vibe in the group's really good. They're really happy. They're enjoying what they're doing, and I think whilst Dorking are turning players over left, right, and centre, whilst Bournemouth are turning players over, we're building a body of work with a group of players. Because I made that mistake in my first season when I managed. Someone would have a bad game and I'd be like, right, off you go. And the turnover of players was massive, and we used to look at each other and go, why are we so inconsistent? Well,
new players week in, week out.
And you go, why can't we build a body of work? Because you keep changing it.
Yeah.
And so ever since then, I've sort of taken real pride in keeping the same group together. And I mean, there might be one or two, but I think we're in a really good place where it is one or two. It's not, we're not looking at it going, we're banged up here. We're one or two, and like the Kane Wills situation is an issue, because it's not, obviously he's brilliant on the pitch, but it's also like what he does off the pitch.
In the changing room.
Yeah, the changing room is massive, and he's got huge respect amongst the group. He's got big personality as well. So that's what I think is us going to Chesham and winning. That's not down to ability. That's down to mindset. That's down to personality. That's down to ultimately a group of men that have been there and done it, that roll their sleeves up and go, right, we need to dig in. This is a shithole. Let's not dress it up. This is rough. We're not playing very well. We need to roll our sleeves up and have a go. And that's not ability. That's mindset and personality. So what we are looking at is if we can add more of that to the group, then great. I mean, I'd done it at Hastings with Gary Elphick. He was retired and he was done. He'd managed here, obviously left the club, went to Burgess Hill, legs had completely gone. And I tried to drag him out of retirement. Because I won't tell too much of a story, but we had a wage cap at Hastings, and I had to wait for the chairman to go away to break the wage cap on the sneaky to get Gary Elphick in. But ever since Gaz come in, we lost 4 league games. And his legs are completely gone. He couldn't pass it 15 yards, but he headed the ball in both boxes. And he got the group together. You've seen Gaz in the documentary. That's what he was like. So that personality was what turned that team from one that lost in a playoff semi-final to one that won relentlessly. So that's the one thing that we're looking at, especially with Kano going away.
Yeah. No, because he is going to be a big loss. Hat-trick at Meadowbank on Boxing Day to say goodbye.
Yeah.
you imagine? That'd be a way to send it off.
Yeah.
Because Mr. White isn't smashing this league out the park like he said he was.
No,
gonna,
100
is he?
points, yeah.
100 points, yeah. Nowhere near that,
Yeah,
are
no,
they? So
I'm looking forward to that, though, because
that must be a game you're looking forward to.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait, because like Cash said, that's the sort of game that our players will have some of that.
That's our derby now, though, isn't it? That's like that, because Eastbourne, although it's Sussex, East Sussex, it never really felt like that. But I've got a feeling just with Dorking and, like, you know, how they've been in the limelight and how quite outspoken Mark is. I like the guy, but, you know, it must be sort of a bit more of a rivalry that you think you're looking forward to.
Yeah. And I'll be shocked. Well, we've said it a few times, haven't we? I'll be shocked if they change for us as well. But every time I've said that, the opposition's changed and gone into this poxy low block. But, I think that'd be a really good game of football. And I really fancy us in those games. Like I said, whenever we've played the supposed top teams in the league, I think we've always done well. I mean, the benchmark for us was Morecambe. If we can do that against a League Two team, we've got no excuse not to do that week in, week out. And the lads know that.
But the thing is, it's not only just at home. Whoever the opposition, like say these bigger teams away, we turn up and we want to give them a game. And they're not used to that necessarily, are they? Like say teams playing poxy low blocks, as you call them, etc. We're turning up and going, no, we'll play off the pitch.
Well, yeah, I do. I think it's something that's sort of ingrained in the football club. Like we're not little, we might be little old Worthing on paper, but we're going to come here and we're not going to, sit in a block. Like we've just seen Morecambe draw bloody Chelsea in the FA Cup. Jesus.
Oh, is that what I got?
Yeah. Sorry. Killed the mood.
Could have been
away or at home.
Home. Was it Stamford Bridge? Yeah.
Wow.
But
forget about that. We've got the trophy.
But this is going to sound like insanity. But I promise you, I think let's go to Stamford Bridge. Let's have a go. Let's have a go. We're not going to sit in. Let's have a go. Let's we're not going to roll over and get beat.
Disrespect sort of thing like that.
100%.
It's only Worthing or it's only Morecambe.
The thing is as well, like give the supporters there. That's why I was so frustrated after the Chesham game, like from a neutral's perspective, because it was the worst game of football I've ever seen in my life. And I just think people are paid to watch that. Now, I know there was obviously preferences, but...
I'm still waiting for my medal, by the way.
Yeah, I know you can have that. Yeah. Have a word with the club shop.
That's an inside job.
Yeah, Twitter conversation.
Oh, okay. Keyboard Jacko over there. Yeah. Is that what it is? Yeah.
But no, I just think like we're going to every game like trying to be on the front foot, be aggressive, and it's on us to try and win the game rather than the opposition to do what they do.
You must be looking forward to the trophy this weekend. Obviously with Sussex in the Cup still in versus Horsham, but look at obviously another local derby. But step close to Wembley and favourable tie. No disrespect to Gosport, but you probably would have rather got them in this round. Get progressed further in the league. So looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I mean, like Hornchurch won it. So, like they were step 3 at the time. Why can't we? That's our attitude. Like there's no one in that competition that we fear, really. I really believe in the players, and they're big game players. So I know that the deeper into that competition we go, the better we'll get. And I think this round is as far as the club's gone. I think. So from a personal perspective, I think it's the 3rd round.
Don't know.
Yeah, I always sort of find that stuff
where's
out.
Paul Damper when you need him to find out?
But from a personal perspective, I want to be part of the group that takes the club further than they've ever been. And we'll just have a right go, really.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to it. Well, good luck for the weekend. Good luck on Box Day. Have a lovely Christmas. We'll ask the Christmas questions in a bit. We'll go over to JC. Christmas is a little bit different in Spain, isn't it?
I'll put JC to sleep.
Yeah. Wake up. There you go. Thank you, Aggie.
Cheers, Aggie.
Welcome back, JC. You all right?
I'm good, thank you. How you doing, guys?
Yeah, good. Happy after yesterday a bit, aren't you?
Yeah, good. Good game.
Good, like we said to Aggie, like in the men's team, like good way to bounce back. After frustrating couple of defeats on the road to sort of play really well, and probably could have been more as well.
Yeah, obviously we know we had 2 games away that were tough. I think one of them we probably deserve a bit more. In the other one, we didn't really play well. So, fair enough. But yeah, we really need a game like yesterday that we actually think played very well and we dominate the game from the start. So, yeah, I think it was very positive.
Yeah, so you've been here, it's a little bit later than Aggie. You came in, was it July? I thought it was June?
July, yeah.
July, yeah. It was just before the live podcast. Well, I think it was like your first week, right? Putting you on a live podcast. So,
yeah.
How have you settled in? How have you felt it's all going?
Yeah, no, I think it's going well. Obviously, we have some ups and downs, and we just starting, right? We've been like, what, 4 or 5 months together, so it's still very early days for us. We're still building the team and getting to know each other more and getting that connection with players and everything. But I think at the moment it's been good.
So it was a lot more trickier for you than Aggie when you came in, because you were coming in almost with a clean slate, weren't you? Having to get the foundations and build the team. So that must have been, quite a tricky process.
Yeah, but I knew there was already good players in here, and we just wanted to keep most of them and just build on that. And we knew the job that John and Kelly were doing before was good, and we just wanted to keep doing that and keep improving. So I think we're doing that quite well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think, as Elf said, you've got a few, if you win games, you're going to shoot up the table as well. So, they're obviously Bournemouth, we know they've got a lot of money behind them, as you said before. So, you almost can sort of say, wave them in the distance. But there must be a challenge to get up there and build for a season. You want to be right up the top. So you must be happy with sort of the way it's been going in the league.
Yeah, and we know we can compete against that team. So I think we show we have a couple of games against Bournemouth, and we show we can compete against them. We probably need a bit more, give a bit more to beat them, but I think we can do it. And even with all the teams that they are at the moment at the top 3 in the table, I think we compete well, and we beat one of them as well. So we know we can get to that level. But as I said, we are still building things, and we're still working on things that. I think it's still very early days for us. It's been 4 months together, so we still got a lot to do.
I had a look at the table yesterday. I think you're 6th now after yesterday. But I noticed the team at the bottom, Southampton, whatever they are. What is going on there? Are they playing at all, or?
Yeah, I think they were missing a few. I mean, they had a bit shambles at the start of the league.
Are they still part of the league? Because it looks like they're not
still
playing.
So they came back together. They missed a lot. They lost a lot of players at the start.
Okay.
So they couldn't play for a few games, but then they rebuilt and they are now back on the league. So we still have actually both games pending against them. So we have to play them. But
that
we
was
will.
a weird thing, wasn't it? They just sort of postponed the game, and
it was quite last minute, wasn't it? If I remember.
Yeah. It was literally. The same week that we were supposed to play them, and then is when
was it the morning of, or was it the morning of the game they postponed it?
No, it was a bit early, but it was that week, and I know they lost the manager, and they lost like 9 players straight away, so they couldn't make it. But then they managed to rebuild, and now they're back on it.
So you talk about challenges, big challenges coming weekend. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Obviously,
biggest game of your career so far, would you say?
I don't know.
One of, if not
one of them, yeah, for sure. And obviously, big opportunity for us and a big challenge for us to go and do a good game, give them a good game. Obviously, we know it's a team that from the league above, they're doing well. They're top 3 at the moment. So it's going to be a challenge for us. But I know we can compete with teams at that level. We need to be our best, of course. But I'm really excited about it, of course.
Yeah, you must be looking forward to it. Is there any preparation you do differently, or are you just preparing like any other game?
No, I think we need to keep it normal like any other game. We are working hard. We've been training well. We've been competing well. So it's just obviously a bit different because we'll be up there in the Saturday and have an overnight, and that will be an extra preparation. But, I think it's a good experience for us as well. But no, everything normal. I trust the girls 100%.
Yeah, the fact you're going up day before overnight, I think, is fantastic as far as team building, the experience for all of the individual players as a team. That whole experience of doing the overnight and travel and staying over.
Yeah, it is.
Proper prep for the game.
It is, and I think for us it's a week to enjoy as well because, as we said, it's the first time that we are in that run of the FA Cup. And obviously, I think we've been lucky in the draws before because we've been playing teams in our level or the league below. But this one is actually the first draw that we got a team from the tier above, and the pressure is on them, really. So I think for us, it's a week to enjoy, obviously a challenge, and we are going to go and try to win, of course. It's the FA Cup. We know anything can happen. But, I think we need to enjoy and just go for the game.
Yeah, it's almost like a free hit.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be good. We're looking forward to seeing it. So good luck. Hopefully, cup upsets will be a nice little thing to end the week on. Both teams in the next round of the cup. It'll be quite a double winning weekend. So hopefully, getting you two sitting next together in the room, management talk and all that. You get take it through to the next round. So good luck for both of you. Christmas time. Christmas questions. So as we said, it's a little bit different in Spain, isn't it? You don't really celebrate on Christmas Day, do you?
It's a bit longer. No, we do Christmas Day, but we keep it. We are not much doing Santa, so we got the 3 wise men in there. That is something that we take until first weekend of January. So yeah, our Christmas is actually going until the 6th of January. So yeah, it's a bit different. It's better. And actually, I'm going home this year for Christmas. Nice. So it's gonna be nice to be with my family after a few years.
Nice. You must look. Spain, as we know, is a country of great food and great drink. You must look at these pigs in blankets and think, "What the hell is that?" Ham on in blanket or something.
Stuffing.
Like that.
Yeah. What's that?
Well, what is stuffing? So, put a Spanish flair to it. What's your favourite food that you might only have at Christmas? Sort of Spain, maybe, because
I don't know. Obviously, it's a lot of seafood and things like that are very good in Spain. And then it's for me my favorite Christmas food is a dessert that we do the 3 Wise Men Day, and it's kind of a sponge cake with cream or chocolate, depending how you like it. But it's a dessert that actually we only do it that day, any other time of the year you can find it.
Really,
it is really nice. So that's
what's
probably
what's it called?
It's called Roscon. Roscon de Reyes, as I mean the 3 wise men, but yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah. And is there any sort of traditions you do, like they're saying, like, night before or something like that? Is there any food you always get or something you do every year that's the same with the family?
No, in that sense, it's the same. Obviously, that day for us is as well a big day. It's Christmas, so we have obviously. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, then New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day, and then one more.
A lot of parties, a lot of fiestas, yeah.
So yeah, that's a bit better.
Yeah. And what's the best or most oddest Christmas present you ever given or received?
I don't know.
Come on, you've had the most time of everyone in this room to think of one.
Yeah, that's true. To be fair, I know. I think once I get it was a Secret Santa or something. I got really weird socks. Really ugly ones. I think I throw it away straight away, but
took out your book, didn't he? Chuck it out of the bin. Yeah, there we go.
Probably that was the worst thing. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you, JC. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers. Aggie, you haven't got away scot free. What's favourite Christmas food for you?
Roast potatoes.
Roast potatoes, yeah.
Standard,
duck fat and all that,
nice.
Goose fat and that. And what's the oddest present then?
It was last year. One of the players got me in Secret Santa, and they done me a naked calendar.
What, of you on heads? Is that
no, of them.
Tutty.
Yeah, don't put that idea in Tutty's head. It's good.
And it was them dotted round the ground in different places.
Oh wow,
naked.
That's a real thought.
It was impressive, and I've still got it as well. And it says more about me, but
memories, mate.
Yeah, it was.
What about Davide? Was he nicely positioned?
No, David wasn't. It was just this one player.
Oh, just one player. Just one player.
And weirdly enough, the person that helped him do it was our goalkeeper coach Ben Cornelius. Took photos of him. So yeah,
all right, then.
Strange. But then in December, my birthday. The player made sure he was laying on the first team manager's desk. Yeah, so that's the best.
What, with the Hastings logo in front of his nephew?
No, full on. Yeah.
Don't tell Tutty that. No, don't tell Tutty that. No, yeah. Well, there we go. Well,
that's a bit
on that note.
On that note. Thank you very much, guys.
My wife kept the calendar.
Yeah. I wonder why. There we go. No, happy birthday for when is it?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Oh, happy birthday.
So hopefully the guys can give you a nice.
I'll be fuming if they.
Yeah, they're going to ruin your birthday. Think of that. You ain't getting
my
the free
wife will be more disappointed. Yeah.
No, thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, cheers. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
And now I think it's just time to wrap up. So, guys, thank you very much for coming along. Thank you to our guests all around in front. A round of applause again for everyone who's turned up, giving up their time tonight. Thanks for the money you've raised for Worthing Food Foundation. They have been our charity this year. It's done with the shirts. We donated the tickets. When you buy the coach travel, it donates a portion of the tickets.
Donations on Saturday?
Yes, and if you listen to this on Saturday, guys, I'm not sure if you heard of it yet, there is a food drive for Worthing Food Foundation. So if you can bring anyone here, bring a tin or they want a festive sort of thing, like maybe a biscuit tin or something like that. Anything that you can donate for Worthing Food Foundation will be calendar. There you go, yeah. I don't know how that's going to get them through Christmas. Well, it might feed someone through Christmas, you never know, depending on that. But thanks to Pinnacle for doing these shirts for us as well. MK Window Cleaning, Price Jones Electrical. Enjoy tonight, guys. It's been fun, so thank you. Thanks for sticking with us. That's the first thing.
Yeah, no, thanks for all your support this year, as always.
Yeah, Nat for getting all the prizes for the raffle. Thank you very much. Jerry for sitting with her and doing all the membership thing. And the club for donating some of the prizes are fantastic and allowing us to do it in this room. Thanks for supporting us. If you want one of these T-shirts, you can have it or buy it if you want. Or if you want Two-Faced Twins, see Nat. But thank you. We'll see you next month. And we'll be back to normal next month, I think. New Year. Happy New Year and Christmas and all that malarkey. Can I put the Santa hat on now?
No.
No, okay. Right. Thanks very much, guys.
You know you want it.
Thank you.